Welcome to the 31 Days of Fitness, babe. Today we are doing a cardio bar inspired workout using these gliders. Let's get into it. Starting with our warm up, feet a little bit wider than hip width apart, toes turned slightly out. We're starting with 20 air squats here. I love doing workouts with the gliders because they are seriously so versatile, but if you do not have a pair of your own, fear not. You can use socks or a rolled up kitchen towel if you're on a hard surface, or if you're on carpet like me, then you can still do these moves. You'll just be stepping normally instead of gliding. Now, this is just a reminder, this is not my first time posting a full 10-minute bar workout routine on this app. And these workouts are just 10 minutes long if you want them to just be 10 minutes long. Last 3 squats right here, and then we're transitioning. Last 2. Last 1. Now we're going to widen up those feet, taking a nice wide stance. Chest is up. When you squat down, I want you to scoop down with those arms and raise them up overhead as you squeeze the booty to come up. Think about making a nice big circle with those arms. Now, as I was saying, you can make these workouts longer by skipping the cool down portion at the end and just going back through. And then, of course, once you're fully cooked, go through the cool down portion and get your stretch on. And if you want to make these workouts extra evil, you are welcome to add weights to them. I'm not going to hold you back. Last 4 right here, and then we're transitioning into our next warm-up move. Last 2, and last 1. Perfect. Now we're going to widen up those legs just a little bit more and keep those toes pointed forward, and we're going to do a nice dynamic side-to-side Cossack squat. You don't have to worry about going super deep or low with these. I would rather you think about sitting low into the heel of the working leg and feeling the dynamic stretch on your opposite inner thigh. If you have trouble getting depth with these while keeping that same heel on the ground, then you can of course use some kind of support so that you can get a little bit more depth and feel the stability. A squat rack would work, a countertop, anything where you can feel and support your weight. Last 5 right here, and then we are transitioning again. Last 2. And last 1. Heel toe it in. If you're using a mat, you're going to want to come to the end so that the rest of your mat is in front of you. Starting in a forward fold position, we're going to get a nice stretch on the hamstrings and walk the hands forward to a plank, hold for a beat, and then walk it back to the feet. We're going to repeat this 3 more times, and then we're going to warm up the hamstrings just a little bit more before we get into our workout. Last 2 right here. And last 1, walk it out to that plank, hold for a beat, and back to the feet. Next exercise we're going to take is hamstring sweeps. Standing with feet underneath the hips, you're going to take one leg out like you're taking a step, heel faces down, toes are up, and then you're going to take a big sweeping motion down, out, and up with the hands. It's important to note that on the neutral standing leg, you should be keeping a slight bend in the knee. You should also be sitting the hips back as you sweep the hands down and up. You should be feeling a gentle but deliberate stretch in the back of your leg every time you're sweeping. Last one right here. Now it's time to grab those gliders. Grab just one for now and place it under the ball of your foot. We're going to glide that foot back in a lunge, back to neutral, then we're going to go for a curtsy lunge. If this is enough of a challenge for you, you are more than welcome to stay here. But for my girlies who need more, now we're going to take those arms up overhead as we lunge back, and then we're going to tap that same arm down as we curtsy. This may not seem like a big difference, but trust me, you will feel the difference. You're getting a little extra depth with that curtsy, and you're hitting a little bit more lower abdomen balance and pelvic floor, taking those arms overhead in that reverse lunge. Last 3 reps right here, lunge and curtsy. Last 2. And last 1. Time to switch feet with that glider. We're doing the same exact thing. Same sequence as before. For the first few reps, you can keep those arms pretty neutral, and then you can move to the more advanced if you like. If you're doing this with weights, I would not recommend you taking the arms up overhead unless you have pretty light weights. I'm talking no more than 10s, because you want to make sure you can still be precise and controlled with the weights so that you don't hurt yourself. But if you want to go for heavier weights, then just keep them alongside you in a neutral position. Last 4 reps right here, and then we're transitioning. 3, 2, and last one right here. And final curtsy. Perfect. Step off that glider. Now we're going to do some body weight single leg RDLs. Take your least favorite leg first. That's going to be your standing/working leg. And keeping your chest angled down towards the floor, you're going to reach your hands down for your toes. Your other leg is going to act like a little pendulum. Every time you come down, that back leg is going to come up. Those toes are staying pointed towards the floor as well. You want to keep your core tight and find a little focal point on the floor that will help you balance. You should be feeling a deep pull down the back of your standing leg every time you're reaching towards those toes. Last 2 reps right here, and then we're switching sides. Last one, reach, 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 and down, shake it out, and switch legs. You may have noticed that I said to start with your least favorite leg, and believe me, there's a reason for that. When we're doing unilateral exercises like this, you always want to start with your weaker or your bad side first. And that is because your body always has more to give on that first side. More attention, more energy, more everything. And it's best to give that to your weaker side so that we can catch that weaker side up to your strong side, which is pretty much the point of doing unilateral exercises in general. Last 2 right here, reach for those toes. And last one, reach, reach, reach. Perfect. Now we're going to grab our mats and you're going to place it down on the floor. It can stay about half folded up if you like. Have a seat on your mat. You're going to sit all the way down at the tail end of your mat and you're going to place your gliders underneath your heels. Keeping the knees bent and heels close to your butt, you're going to lay back on your back and start your bridges. Keeping the core tight and squeezing the glutes, you're going to lift the hips up. We're here for 5 more reps. 4, 3, 2, last one. You're going to hold those hips up and you're going to hold that squeeze. Belly button into spine, booty is squeezing nice and tight. Hands are down by your side, pushing the floor away. Hold here for 5 more seconds and then we're transitioning into a single leg hamstring curl. We are keeping that bridge hold on our least favorite leg as we glide the other heel out and in. Same cues here, hips should be staying nice and high and stable. Belly button pulling into spine. Last 4 right here. And 3, 2, and 1. Keeping those hips nice and high, straight into the other side. Glide it out and in, out and in. Same cues here. You're keeping those hips nice and high, belly button pulling into spine, squeezing into the booty cheek of that standing leg. Last 3 and 2. Last 1. Keep those hips up high. Now we're going to take both feet out and a hamstring curl. We got 9 more. 8. Trust me, I know this burns, but you got to keep your hips up so that you get a nice curl in those hamstrings. Keep those arms down by your side, pushing the floor away. Last 3, last 2, and last 1. Beautiful. Sit the booty down. Rock it up to sitting. We're going to make a slight transition. Position your mat so that you have a lot of space going behind you. Our hands are going to be on the mat, and we're going to grab both of our gliders underneath our toes. Come on down. Hands are going to come to the mat, and the legs are going to go back in a plank position. Once again, pick your least favorite side, and that knee is going to cross to the opposite elbow for 10 times. Make sure you're keeping the upper body nice and stable. Shoulders are pushing away, and hands are pushing the floor away. Belly button is into spine. Core is nice and tight. Switching sides, same thing. Opposite knee to elbow, keeping that core nice and tight, and everything is stable. The only thing that should be moving is that leg that is crossing across your body. Last 2 right here. And last 1. Perfect. Come down to the knees. We're going to transition into an elbow plank. Same thing. Toes are on those gliders and we're going to saw the body back and forth. Same cues here. We're keeping that belly button into spine and we're keeping the upper body stable. Last 3 right here. And 2. And 1. Great. Come down to the knees. Short little break here. Take that mat all the way out nice and flat. And ladies, it is cool down time. In the interest of time, I have sped up this portion of the workout to 2.5 times speed, just so you know. You want to hold each one of these stretches for a minimum of 10 seconds, but you can hold it for as long as it feels good for you. And of course, if you want to take 1 or a few more sets of the workout, then just skip over this portion and go back to the beginning. And of course, once you're truly done, do not skip over the cool down and go through the stretching with us. And of course, you're always welcome to do more stretching as needed. From your cat-cow, take it up into your downward facing dog and breathe here. Walk it back to the feet. And we're going to take a nice forward fold. You did it, babes. I'm so proud of you. You crushed it. Don't forget to save this video for later. And of course, come back for more. Love you, babe.